Welcome back to the Chronicles of the King podcast, where we take a deep dive into the life and legacy of Elvis Presley. I'm Megan.
And I'm Tessa, and we are two 20-something Elvis fans dedicated to keeping his legacy alive with a research-based approach.
Whether you're a diehard Elvis fan or simply curious about a man who changed the course of music and culture, you're in the right place.
We are here to unpack the myths, explore the music, and get to the heart of Elvis's enduring impact.
Every other week, we'll bring you research, untold stories, and fresh perspectives on Elvis's journey. From his humble beginnings to his legendary performances, we're here to shed light on it all.
So settle in for a podcast made with a lot of TLC for the man himself, one story at a time. Hey guys, so we have a little bit of a different episode for you today. We're going to do a little story time about our trip to Memphis for Elvis's 90th birthday.
So we're just going to it's going to be like story time. Story time, you're sitting here with us. We're just recapping our trip to you. So Tessa and I, we carpooled. We did a little mini road trip to get to Memphis. Tessa being from Syracuse, I'm from Maryland, kind of near DC. So we met up at my house and we began our journey January 4th.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes,
the 4th.
Yes, the 4th. Okay.
I have to look through my pictures in order to tell. Yeah, it was the 4th. And so we drove from Maryland to Nashville on the first day, and it was a long drive. It was like 10 hours or something.
It was 10 hours. Well, gained an hour because time zones.
True. We went from Eastern to Central. Okay. Mm-hmm. So we get to Nashville, and the whole day I'd been like, I want to go out on Broadway. And then because we were driving it for so long, by the end I was like, I just want to go to bed.
She was being an old lady on me.
I was. And then Megan was like,
go to bed.
I was like, I don't want to go out. And Megan's like, Tessa, just go. Like we should just go.
Like we're here. Like when's the next time we're going to be in Nashville? You know?
Right. So we go. Our hotel had a shuttle. So that I changed my tune real quick because I realized we don't have to take the bus. We don't have to Uber. I don't have to drive. So it was perfect. We went to a couple little bars, honky tonks, and saw some live music, which was really fun.
Mm-hmm. Saw a cool little Graceland sticker.
Yes, I saw a Graceland sticker that said, my son's band played at Graceland. And this guy tried to like chat me up about it, but it didn't really work. So
no, it didn't. Tessa was really click with it.
It was like, I don't know. He thought he was being funny, and he wasn't really. No. And he was also short. So I'm sorry, King, if you see this.
Like shorter than Tessa, I think. Just saying, throwing that out there.
Yeah. So we went back to the hotel. I slept like a rock. Like,
oh yeah, we slept good.
Because also I spilled one of my drinks at the bar in Nashville, and then it was like at the very end of it, and then the bartender saw that I spilled it, and she just gave me a whole new one, which definitely put me over the edge.
And she ended up having a real deep conversation with our shuttle driver about his history, his passions, what brought him to Nashville. Yeah.
I don't know. I was
anything. She was a really I was the chaperone, I guess.
Yes. Yep. And then next morning we wake up and we went to this place. Was it the Pancake Pantry?
The Pancake Pantry.
Megan had been there before, right? You went there before.
I had been there before. My craving for pancakes sat in, and I had to have them.
So good. They had gluten-free. They had such good gluten-free pancakes. And it was like a
chocolate
road trip.
Butter.
Yeah, on road trip fuel, you know. And we're like,
the day wasn't
Graceland sweatshirts.
Yeah. The day didn't start off right. Tessa saw a Cybertruck.
Oh my God, I forgot.
Yeah.
And I was like, my day is ruined.
My day is ruined. But while we were there, we put up a couple podcast stickers, and then we were on our way to Memphis, which was like a 3-hour drive.
Yes. And so we got to Memphis. And I parked my car next to Diane's, and we have the same license plate.
Yeah.
It's like an Elvis fan, like we both have vanity plates, and it's the exact same one. So it's really funny to see our cars parked together.
Yep.
And we get to the Holiday Inn, and then Diane's like, "Let's go see Graceland," and so we go and see Graceland. This is only my second time ever seeing it. So
this was my fourth.
fifth.
Yes, fourth, fifth or fourth. Ooh,
Didn't you go 4 times?
I think this was my fourth trip. I
thought you'd been 4 times.
No, I think it was 2017, 2020, 2023. Yep. And then 2025.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was really exciting. And there's such a cute video of us like putting up stickers and just being so happy. And
yeah,
this was like the first day that we were there, and it was the only day it was warm. So
like no coats needed warm.
No coats, like we were good. But so then we went into downtown. We parked sort of near to Bill Street, and we got this museum pass thing that I really recommend.
Highly recommend.
Yeah, so you save like $26 or something, and you get it at the Rock and Soul Museum.
Yep.
And it gives you admission to the Sun Studio, the Rock and Soul Museum, Stacks, and
like the Elvis
Graceland tours.
Yeah, like the basic level Graceland tour.
So we did that. And we went around the Rock and Soul Museum. And as we were leaving, it was kind of cool. They had some old Elvis merch stuff that like they need to bring back. The lipsticks.
It was like the 50s merch, like that skirt, the lipsticks. I think there was a couple other things. Can't remember off the top of my head.
Teddy bear perfume.
Yes.
And it was cool to see the history of music in Memphis as well, not just Elvis related. I'm really happy we went to that museum. And I think that they said they were moving it to the old building where Lansky's used to be. So I think it'll be cool, like if they refurb it. All of the items were great. I think that the story is so awesome and interesting that I want it to it needs like a little zhuzh, I feel like.
Like a little zhuzh. And if you're interested in the tour, it was like an audio guide. So you can like punch in the numbers, listen to the audio. There's you're in Memphis, so it's lots of Elvis stuff there, but it's also, actually, when we went into the museum, it was really interesting to see both like the white and black side of music, and they kind of separate it that way on the tour. And I think for most of it throughout, and then towards the end, it kind of combines the music history together. So that was really interesting.
Absolutely.
And before we forget, one of our personal favorite things is to see the original lyrics for Suspicious Minds. And it was the piano that Suspicious Minds was written on was there as well.
Yes. So that was really cool. And then so then it was pouring with rain, pouring. And Diane had parked her car like a little bit away, and it was shocking down. So
we had to buy umbrellas.
Yeah, we had to buy umbrellas. And
I had to do one.
Yeah, I think I might have left mine. I don't know where it is. So
it might be in Diane's car still.
It might be in Diane's car. It's okay.
We'll see her hopefully in August.
Not hopefully, we are.
We will. Okay, we'll get to that too. Okay.
We're good. Yeah, geez.
Yeah.
So then we went to Sun, and I had never been inside before. So I went to a store.
But this was the best tour I've been on.
Yeah. So this was really special. We went in, we did the tour. I loved the tour. Our tour guide was this guy named Mark. He was super charismatic, and it's really fun. Yeah, we got to take pictures, with one of the microphones, the original microphones
in the studio.
And we played on a $1 Million Quartet. Well, it's not the piano, but we tried to reenact the picture as everybody does. There are so many vibes, and it's
but when we came down from so if you've been to Sun, it's a museum upstairs, you go down, and then you're in the studio. And he kind of left us there to, look at the stuff a little bit more in the museum part before we came down to the studio. And when we came down to the studio, he had dimmed the lights and he was playing Blue Moon. And I was just,
And like the echoey of it is just
Yep.
the some production of that song is so evident. Okay, sorry. We had to take a little break. My best friend just got engaged. So she was
Yeah, we had to have like,
I had to have a moment for her.
weekend.
So we're inside. He had dim the lights. Blue Moon is playing. It's so vibey in there.
It's
like
good.
echoey and just loved. And so then Diane had read this
I
800.
made magic for this trip. Let me just say that.
Diane, literally shout out Diane.
Shout out.
She had read
Ultimate Elvis facts. Diane.
Ultimate Elvis.
Yes.
So she had read an 800-page book
Yeah, by
about
Peter Guralnick.
about Sam Phillips. And so she's chatting up the tour guide while Megan and I are taking our pics because she'd
What
just
girls?
been in August. And so she was like, yeah, like she was just talking to the tour guide. And he goes, man, you guys really know your stuff. And
Yeah, we do.
we're like, yeah, we know a lot. And we plug the podcast. And then he goes, well, let's just wait for everybody else to leave.
And then he says, I'm going to take you back to show you the sound booth. And we're like, we didn't do that in person. We're just like, okay, cool. We were very chill though.
Yeah,
but in our mind, we were like, oh
my gosh. Yeah. So we got to go back to the sound booth and go and sit there, and we were just chatting with him for so long, like probably like 45 minutes.
Yeah. Diane's like there on the couch, just like snapping pictures of like us enjoying the sound booth, which we'll be posting those. If you haven't seen them already.
Right. And then, so he's talking about Jerry Lee Lewis, and he's a big like Jerry Lee Lewis fan. And then we learn about the conspiracy theory that Jerry Lee Lewis killed two of his wives.
Specifically the fifth wife, Sean.
Yeah. And then there was another that died in a super mysterious, similar circumstance. So yeah, we were then like, he was telling us podcasts that we had to listen to about it. So we're like, write that down.
We're ready to go.
It was still raining. We went outside. We took our cutie little pics. That was really fun. It's so fun to be in Memphis with people who like love Elvis the same way you do.
Yes. And you don't have to explain anything.
No,
like the beauty of it. It's like, oh, Sun Studio, like what's the point of that? No, we just all get it.
Right.
We all get it.
And like the goosebumps that we got with the blue moon and the dim lights. So we were like,
Now, the first time I went, our tour guide was really into Johnny Cash. So he was playing, it wasn't The Ring of Fire. It was a different song and I forgot what it was now. But it was another popular Johnny Cash song. But he was playing that and it just wasn't the same vibe. Now, before we designed to the studio, we were talking a lot about Elvis. Like, oh, Elvis, like who's that guy? Obviously, we're all like the crazy fanatics wearing our Graceland shirts.
Yeah, I'm wearing my Sun's studio t-shirt with Elvis on
it. So I think Mark knew why we were there. And so he made a little magic happen there.
Yes. And we super appreciated it.
We did.
And so then Tara got in. Tara was at Wild in the Country. So then our little room was complete. And she had been driving from Georgia. So she lives in Georgia, in Atlanta area. And then we went out for barbecue. And the first barbecue spot was the barbecue spot that I had been to last time. Yeah, the first of many. So this is my favorite barbecue place in Central Barbecue. It's right near the Civil Rights Museum. And the thing I'm obsessed with is their vinegar, their barbecue vinegar. I bought a thing of it. And literally we were there like 3 weeks ago and it's already mostly gone because I just love it. I love
What are you doing? Drinking it?
No, I just put it on everything.
Oh, okay.
Salad, fries, chicken. I made barbecue chicken when we came back, even though I like had eaten barbecue chicken like 45 times before. Okay, so then
we got to eat all the chicken. I was eating pork the entire week.
You were authentic. I was pork girly. I'm more of a chicken girly. So then we go back to the hotel.
And the whole
And
night with all four of us, let me just say, was absolutely incredible.
yes,
I've
so
never
much fun.
been in person, at least, with a group of
Mhm.
girls that all love Elvis as much as I do. And
Right.
so it was just a completely different experience, and I appreciated every moment of it. So I will say leaving was very rough.
Oh my gosh, like the post Elvis birthday
Oh,
depression.
trash.
Well,
Womp
so we
womp.
go back to the hotel, and Diane
Mhm.
has a little surprise. She had already clued us into her surprise, but Tara
Did not
didn't
know.
know. So we were very excited. So Diane had bought from the EP Boulevard pawn shop, John Daly. She bought a concert worn scarf from
From
St.
St.
Louis.
Yep.
It's from St. Louis. It's from his last show in St. Louis.
Mhm.
And we noticed a sweat stain.
Tessa noticed that she's laying out on the
I
bed.
was
She's
like,
like, she goes, "Is that a sweat stain?" And we're all just like crowding around this like scarf now, obsessing over this like one stain on this white scarf.
yeah, yeah. And so it was super fun. We had a really cute video of Tara like getting to try it on.
Yeah.
And it was
Lots of
exciting.
pictures of it around our necks.
Mhm. And then we went to sleep very happy girls, like
We were
happy, full of barbecue, magical day at Sun Studio.
Mm.
And next morning we wake up.
Next morning. Diane got us up early every day.
Yes, let me
Till
tell
the
you,
dawn.
we were packing those days.
Yes.
And I had never done a morning walk up before.
Mhm.
So that was really fun. We did the morning walk up. It was cold, like cold. It started to snow as soon as we got up there.
Memories, it was
Little,
magical.
it was magical, which was a word that we were like ironically using it throughout the trip. But then we realized there's not really another word to describe some of
Elvis magic.
Elvis magic that we experienced.
Magical. If you have another word, please let us know so we can include that in the vocabulary.
So we see, where Michael Jackson and Lisa park their names into
Mhm.
the tree near the meditation garden, little flurries of snow.
Yep.
And then we had some time until we did the ultimate VIP tour. And we had a little time. So we went to South Haven Antique Mall. Did you get anything when we were there? I don't remember.
I got lots of books, all from John Daly's booth.
Yes.
Spent a lot of money. Lots of books during this trip. I'm the book club girly, so yes, there was lots of books involved.
Yeah. I think from that antique mall, I just got like a little keychain.
Yeah.
So, and then we went to Dixie Queen, which
I
if
just
you're
went
an
down.
Elvis fan, but it was like, I said, guys, we have to go to Dixie Queen. Everyone's like, yeah. And I think if you're with anyone else, they would be like,
why? I mean, it's like the Dairy Queen of the South, is what I described it as to my family who did not know.
So, for those of you who don't know, Elvis would go there, and with his cousin, I believe in Gene Smith's book, Elvis's Man Friday, he talks about going to Dixie Queen and they would get a purple cow, which is like vanilla milkshake with grape soda or grape flavoring.
I guess so, or something.
Obviously, we roll up. But first up, we see a dead rat. We're like, okay,
it's got to be good at that point.
We're like,
the ice are really good.
Yeah, like maybe the hygiene is not really great, but
the ice
I'm
cream
sure. And you know what? It was so good.
It was really good.
We felt very much like
I didn't care how cold it was. It was good.
No, it was cold.
We had our little writers.
I know, we had our little purple cows, and it was super fun.
Had a little picture moment when we got to Graceland.
Yes, we were like, and
full circle.
We started in Megan's dad's favorite part.
Yep. My father loves the cars. That's where we spend most of the time when we go as a family. But I gave them what I was calling the Randy tour of all of Elvis's cars. I pointed out like, see the crackle and like the lacquer, like stuff like that.
I like seeing some of the stuff on the cars. I particularly like that purple one where you can see the EP and like TCB on the inside, and then just a little details. The pink Cadillac, of course.
I like the Stutz.
Yeah,
I'm a little partial to the Stutz. There's both Stutz are on display right now. That's cool.
It's not a Honda CRV, so like,
No, but
oh
what can we
gosh,
do? And then,
right.
so I think after that, we perused in order all the other exhibits and kind of walked through.
Mhm.
We have been there before, so I feel like we were going a little bit faster than you probably should have. If you
I
have
went
been,
way slower than I did last time.
really, I
Yeah,
thought you were fast.
I feel like we took a lot of time compared
I
to
think we took
once
a
we
lot
got
of
to like
time.
in the entertainment museum.
Once we got to the army exhibit, though, we spent a little bit more time there. Um,
Something about
particularly for
1960 Elvis and the
oh,
Frank Sinatra.
mm,
So
Tessa's
as a
scared
joke,
gentleman.
yeah, as a joke to Tara, like they had the Frank Sinatra special on one of the TVs, and I was going.
So this man's next to her, like,
Yeah, for some reason the man was like, "Hello, what are you doing?"
what are you doing?
Um, well,
So
we
it
were
was a
being
running
federal.
joke.
Yeah, so then we
There
were
was always the
working.
barking. I would, what apparently my grandmother deemed like a purring noise. I would do the,
Yeah,
oh, I can't do that. That's what I
yeah,
do.
and I
And
would
Tessa would
go.
bark. Yeah. That's gonna, again, that was the running thing. It was magical, the barking, the purring throughout the whole trip.
Whole trip.
We
And
were,
so
we were not supervised.
no. And I'm a 68 girly, so love seeing all the
Mhm.
68 stuff. And then I got really into taking all these like detail pics,
Yeah, she
which
did.
was like phone up against the plexiglass, like to get no glare.
Yep.
Um, and it was nice to be able to like take time and like see all the little imperfections,
Yep.
the stains, the pulled fabric. And when we got to like
Mhm.
the That's the Way It Is exhibit and early Vegas shows, that was
And was
super
it a
fun
dancing
because
moment?
yeah, we had a dance party and people hadn't really gotten there yet because it was what the
Yeah.
6th, and so we took our time in there and like
Mhm.
we were dancing around, and it was just the overwhelming feeling I felt was like joy on that day and in those moments.
Which I'm so sorry because I posted that video of you dancing.
I don't care.
And I don't know. No, I don't know why I decided to use memories. I mean, maybe because they were my memories from it. But Diane said it looks like she commented to me and she's like, why does it look like we're remembering her from the great beyond? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
But it was
well,
too funny
dancing to
to
Poke Salad Annie,
she's
like
dancing to Poke Salad Annie. It's much better with Poke Salad Annie, but it's funnier with memories.
yes. So then we headed over to the archives,
Mhm.
which was really cool. I'd never been there
Yeah.
before.
We
We
had the
did,
245 archive
yeah.
store.
So we did our archives
Mhm.
tour, and we saw this pair of like yellow Big Bird pants.
That's what they
Uh,
were calling them. Yep.
that's what they were calling them. And we got to look at like the catalog, the different shirts and stuff, and we were kind of like trying to plan what will go with
We
it. And also, we
spent
were
so
just
much
like
time there.
we were like chatting up the archivist. We're like, please let us just do archival work here. We'll do it
Like,
for
we would
free.
for free.
like, um,
Um, darn.
and then we get to hold our little items.
Yep.
So we got to hold the TCV, right?
Mhm.
Which was pretty special to me because my mom got to try it on back in the day when they were super willy nilly and just like let people try stuff on, whatever. They
No.
didn't care. So when she worked at Sotheby's, it like came through for an exhibition.
Mhm.
She got to try the ring on. So it's cool to be able to hold it and see it.
The full circle. We saw a couple other things, which I have pictures in front of me to keep myself on track.
Yes.
I think we saw a belt. We saw some
Mhm.
other jewelry, pictures of his parents, books. We saw his narcotics badge, which was
Mhm.
because I live close to DC. I don't know. It's just one of my favorite stories. Um, and then after that, we were then taken over to the house and did an actual tour.
Yeah, the little annex part and then
Yes.
the tour.
Yep. Which I feel like we were just a little rushed because we spent so much time in the archives, like just
Yeah.
chatting it up.
Yeah.
But it was still a really great tour, especially
Yeah.
because it
So
was
we were
dark.
like,
We were by
it was
ourselves.
just Sally was setting. It was us, just our little
Mhm.
group of us four, and then there were three other ladies for on the same tour.
Yes.
And
Well, when
over,
our tour guide, it was Tina, right?
yeah, I think so.
Yes, Tina was
And
great.
she was awesome.
She
And
was one
I
of the
felt
girls.
like I feel like last time when I went through the house, I felt kind of like, I don't want to say sad, but like very like
Somber.
overwhelmed. Somber, yeah, because I've never been before. And this time, well, this first go around,
The first go around. Yep.
yeah, it felt more like joyful. Like I felt like I was celebrating,
Hmm.
like being there with my friends. And the house is so pretty and all decked out for Christmas. And,
Yep.
I love the music room, and you're just taking all kinds of pictures. And,
Hmm.
um, I don't know. I really felt like I had like a happy experience rather than a
Good.
somber one, I suppose. We made our way through the house, looked at all the little details.
Tessa
Stained
was barking
glass.
again.
When was I bark? Oh, in Vernon's office.
Yeah.
Because
You
there
barked
was
for
a
the tour
video.
guide.
There was a video of him at the press conference in 1960, so I had to bark for that.
It was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie.
And then we were a little bit getting like ushered out by the security because we were like the last people there.
Ooh,
Uh,
my sighting.
oh yeah, your house
Yeah.
sighting.
I am such a nosy person. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. It's the woman in me. I just want to be nosy. So while we were going through the house, like you could tell they're like, oh, like there's another tour, like trying to get us going like out. I was being nosy, and if you look at the stairway, like you can see the upstairs door. And when I was doing it, I didn't want to look at the big scene, but I was like, oh my gosh, I see a person upstairs. Um, I was like, there's a dude up there. And when we were rounding the corner, getting ready to go into the kitchen, I took one last look upstairs and I did snap a picture and I saw something on the landing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, guys, I saw something. It looks like a fish tank.
And we're like,
And they're
girl, what are
looking at
you
me
talking
like,
about?
they're like, why a fish tank? Like, why do you think it's a fish tank? I'm like, I don't know. It just looked like a fish tank. It was just very random for me to say fish tank, but that comes back and I felt very validated last half of the trip.
Yes.
Okay, leaving that there.
So we were a little like had my somber moment,
Hmm.
at the in the rec ball
Oh
building.
yeah.
Uh, just always when you hear the music like echoing, they play Blue Eyes Cry, right? And not Too Melody.
Hmm.
And the way it's set up, it like echoes. I just gets me chills every
I
time.
know.
Um, so then we went through the meditation garden, and the sun was like just setting, and I'd never seen it in like the dark before. Um, so
Oh,
that
and
was nice.
I forgot something. When we did the walk up that morning,
Mhm.
Tessa was a little emotional and it didn't
Oh my god.
help because she saw a cardinal while we were
Oh
in the
my gosh.
meditation garden.
Yes. And it like flew down and was just singing like at me.
Mhm.
And cardinals, like the symbolism of a cardinal is that it's like a lost loved one. Uh,
Yep.
and it's something about the cardinal singing was very like, oh my god, like, it was a little heavy for
That'd be
me.
right there.
Um,
And I think you
and
saw cardinals again though. When we
So I saw a bunch of cardinals when we went again through the meditation garden, and then
Mhm.
I saw one right before we left for our trip when I was outside cleaning snow off my car.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
we took a whole bunch of pictures, and it was
Lunch.
so cold.
I was like
It
this.
was so cold, and I was like, "Oh, I'll leave my coat inside because I
Yeah.
don't need it. Like I'll leave it in
Like
Diane's
I
car
don't
because I
like
don't need
she
it."
was prioritizing those cutie pictures over the warmth.
It
And
was.
I was like, you do
It was
you.
so cold.
I'm like, that was dumb.
Um, and then in the evening, what did we do for dinner? I don't. Oh, I know. Then we went over
Yeah.
we got an invite to John Daly's house.
Yeah.
And John Daly, who runs the People Over Pawn Shop,
Mhm.
he's a super cool guy. He's from Ohio. He's an Ohio State Buckeye, just like me. And we went over there, and he has a really amazing private collection.
Mhm. And he knows
And
so much about Elvis that I feel like we don't. And so it was great to
so
talk
much.
like we as girls, yes, we talk a lot about how great Elvis looks, which leads some of us to bark at him. But it was really nice to like actually like talk educational Elvis and like talk about him
Mhm.
as a person, his career, things that were going on in his life. So that was a really interesting conversation we had.
Yeah, and it's cool because,
Mhm.
we are super interested in that stuff, and that's like the real
Yep.
stuff that has us interested in Elvis. And so
Mhm.
to be able to talk about that with other people who know as much or more than we do is great.
Yep.
So we went to John Daly's house, and we were super lucky. We got to see some of his private collection. He showed us something in the 70s, something from the 60s, and something from the 50s. And we'll insert a little video of what one of the things he showed us just like blew our minds.
We were just overloaded on Elvis that day. Just every little bit just kept getting better and better.
Yeah.
And so at this point, we were just like, oh my gosh, I told them when we were leaving, I said, guys, on my headstone, just put today's date. This is my first death. I had died and went to heaven this day.
Yeah, because they just got to do so much awesome, all this stuff. And like I said, like I felt like on that first Monday, like everything I felt was just joy. It was the same feeling I had when I went to Disney World for the first time of like, hooray! Like I felt like a little happy kid, like, you know,
so fun.
So fun. And it was really nice for that, like, for Elf's experience to be fun, because I think sometimes it could be a little sad, I guess. Yeah. So then the next day we get up pretty early again.
Tuesday.
We go to Arcade Restaurant, which is a restaurant Elvis used to go to. We were the first people there.
Yeah.
We get the Elvis booth. Period.
Megan was not feeling good this day.
Oh, yes. I forgot about this. Megan was so stuffy as anything.
You woke up stuffy?
No, you did. You woke up stuffy.
Oh, yeah. I was stuffy. My back ached. It was bad. And it was cold.
I was drugging her up with Dayquil.
I survived that. That would be on Dayquil, NyQuil, Afrin, and Motrin.
Yeah. Shout out.
So good.
So we got up pretty early. We had a big breakfast at Arcade. And then we headed out to Tupelo, which is like, what, it was like an hour and 40 minutes from Memphis.
Hour and a half-ish, yeah.
Yeah, and I'd never been to Tupelo before. And of course, we went to Elvis's birthplace, which he was born in a shotgun shack on January 8th, 1935, so 90 years ago. And we went on the 7th, so it was just the day before. And I don't know, just something for me, because it was my first experience in Tupelo. We went through the little museum and everything, and then we went to the house, just the little house, and I just cried because
we didn't see issues.
No, tears are just running down my face, which I really wasn't expecting to feel like so emotional. But something about seeing the house, like seeing Graceland, like it's so grandiose, and like it's a little gaudy, and it's like very like extravagant, and
very rock and roll.
Very rock and roll, and like to have had just seen it the day before, and then now to see like, oh, this is really where he came from. It was very emotional, and then a little more so than I expected. And then we did one of the, like, they have like a simulation church service for like what an Assembly of God church service would have been like in the original church building.
Yep.
And that made me emotional too. I was like very emotional in Tupelo. So.
And then afterwards, we went over to the Tupelo hardware store where Elvis bought his first guitar. You all got a couple little things from there. Diane bought a guitar.
She bought a guitar, of course.
So she had a little story to go with it.
I got your for
Yeah.
I got a magnet.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes. And then we went to Tupelo Fairground, which it was really cool. They had this giant, we'll put a picture, inflatable
birthday
cake.
Right behind
that made me
statue.
That made me emotional too, because I was like, who else, like 90 years, they're 90 years old. He has been gone longer than he was ever here. And
that was just so great to think about.
And so, it was just like, who else could have this still? Like, that their hometown, that he left when he was like 13 years old, still cares that much about, that he's from there. And so that was really cool to see. It was really cold.
I had my dad really cold. We call it babushka.
Oh yeah, Megan put her scarf around her head.
It was cold and still in pain. I'm just still telling you. But I was a trooper. She's gonna say I was a trooper. And so I think that kind of wrapped up our Tupelo excursion, and then we went back to Memphis. We went to the Peabody,
Yes.
after which
Saw the
I had my
ducks.
2 Motrin and I was feeling great.
Her legs were like wobbly and
So
it
bad.
was so funny.
I was a hot mess.
And so we're sitting and we saw the little ducks do their march.
Yeah,
We got a little couple drinkies.
we got a
Megan got
fuzzy
one.
duckling.
Yeah, it came with a little
Yeah,
ducky.
a little rubber ducky. It's somewhere.
And so what was cool about that too was we noticed, well, first we went to Lansky's. I got this hat in there.
Very cute.
And we got matching t-shirts.
Many did.
And then what was cool is that the ballroom was open, like they must have an event or something. So we just like snuck up.
I was like motioning. I don't know if I told you, I was motioning to Diane because we were watching the ducks and she was across from me. I'm gonna like shout at her, like, Diane, the ballroom doors are open. So I'm standing there, I'm like, Diane. And I go, the ballroom doors are open. So, but no, we snuck up there. We took some nice little pictures. Tessa and Diane, they were dancing.
Dance.
Where Elvis danced.
Yeah, so he had his prom in that room, so that was pretty cool. We did a little twirl, and then for dinner we met up with some other people, and we went to Marlowe's, which is just down the street on Elvis Presley Boulevard. I did have barbecue pork that day.
Oh, you did? Yeah, for me, barbecue pork round 2.
I enjoyed it. I think that like barbecue was more like the atmosphere because everything was all Elvis themed.
It's a little gaudy in there, but it's such a vibe.
Yeah, you like have to go.
Obviously. You have to go.
Yeah.
And it's just right down the street from Graceland. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then we went back to our hotel and we like took a minute, literally got ready for bed. It is so fucking cold outside. Like, so then we go back out to the gates because there's a tradition that was started by someone that John Bailey knew, one of the original like fan club people, where they at midnight on, I guess on the 8th, like as soon as it's the 8th, people stand by the gates and sing happy birthday to Elvis and Jesse, his stillborn twin. So we went out over to the gates. I signed the wall for the first time, which was very exciting. I'd never done it before. And we got to hand out bells.
Yeah, so
everyone, like,
we were his little elves that day.
Yes, we were handing out bells. And I had mine like up over there. So
and we met this we met this wonderful lady, Terry, who had seen Elvis. I love Terry. She had seen Elvis perform in Vegas in 1973. So we talked all about that. We just kind of like adopted her into our group, and she was absolutely like, I don't know. I feel like she was our spirit animal for the trip.
Yeah, Diane had done an interview with her before, so she knew her, and then she had never signed the wall, and so it's just like, oh, I feel bad, and we're like, no, you have to sign it. Like, what are you doing? Like, she was just the sweetest, and we were just jangling our belts, and it was super fun.
Yep.
And then the next day we had to get up early again, even though we've been up.
No, we got up at like 7:30 every single day.
Oh yeah. And there's a birthday proclamation over at the house. So we went up over there again, saw the birthday cake.
I got cake. Tessa couldn't eat the cake.
No, since I'm gluten-free, I couldn't eat the cake. And then we went back to our hotel where John Daly had a booth. And Nurse Tish, who was one of Elvis's nurses, was there. Lowell Hayes, Sally Hodell, who's the author of Elvis, Just Chaya. We have, what's his name? Ron Strauss, who was one of the pilots on the Lisa Marie. So there were a bunch of really awesome people there. We met Donna Lewis, who's one of the OG Gate girls.
We got her book there too. Highly recommend. We're going to read that to the book club soon.
We were just talking to her about Elvis and being an Elvis fan. It was super fun.
Yep.
I think that day I was lucky enough to nap.
I think so. Well, I was going to say we also met Marty Lacker's daughters there as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was really fun getting to talk to them.
Yeah, and since we've come back, I read Marty's book. So it's like, it was cool to
fast reader.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then we went over to the guest house and we met up with everybody for the pink Cadillac meetup, which was really fun.
Yeah.
It was so great to see everybody
In
and
person.
share stuff. Yeah, I was like, I know you people, but
like I've seen you on the internet.
Yeah, like I know your face, and some people like I don't remember your name because they just had too many.
I am proposing Elvis Week 2025. Everybody gets a name tag. We put our names. Our Kelsey, basically, she said that we should have like our profile icon, like put that on there, and then our username. That would help me out so much.
Because people come up to me and I'm like, I know you, but I can't remember your name, and I felt so terrible.
Yeah.
And then that afternoon after the meetup, we went over to Stacks, which was cool. It was totally different from I think some of the other museums that we went to. I really recommend it if you've never been before.
Yeah,
it's just so important and integral to Memphis music and Memphis music history. My favorite Elvis songs were all recorded at Stax, pretty much.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I love like that whole album that's like Elvis at Stax. I'm like, yes, banger. Another one. Like Good Time Charlie's got the blues for old time's sake. And I'm like, every single one is just so good.
He was in a vibe in that setting.
Yeah, and it is a vibe in that setting. I'm really interested. I want to watch the show that's on HBO, the Stax like documentary now, especially after seeing the stage. And I think we had like a quiet evening. I don't think we really did anything.
Let's refer back to the pictures.
I know. I'm looking at my pictures. I'm looking at my pictures. I can't remember what we did.
Yes, we did. What did we do for dinner? I feel like my whole schedule is based off what did I do for dinner.
Yeah.
Because I generally don't remember.
I don't have anything like, I don't have any pictures, which means like, what did we do?
Oh, we went out today. We got Mexican food that night.
Oh, yeah. We got Mexican food that night. I was like, what? We went out, we went with John Daly to a Mexican place in Mississippi, like just over the border. And we went afterwards, we saw the new Jerry Lee Lewis statue that they've been
back to the whole podcast thing.
Yeah, and me and Val were like, he killed his wife. So that was pretty funny. Okay, and next morning, we got early. We went on a bus tour with Angie, my Casey's the head of archives, and Tupelo. Yeah. And that was super cool. I would recommend doing it.
Yeah, especially if you've never like driven around Memphis, like they're definitely going to take you to the key places, give you the history of it. I'm trying to remember some of the places that we went to.
We went and saw McKellar Lake, which is where like Elvis would do water sports in the summer. We also saw like
studios.
We saw the Hotel Chisca, which is where Dewey Phillips had his radio station.
Yeah.
We saw a bit of downtown.
Yeah, near Beale Street.
New Beale Street. And then at Sun, we got out of the bus and we all took pictures. We had a picture with Angie. And then we went to Humes High School, which is where Elvis went to high school. We saw Lauderdale Courts, which is where Elvis lives.
And then is it Guthrie? I can never pronounce it right.
Guthrie Park.
Guthrie Park, yes.
Where Elvis would play football with his buddies.
Yep. And then I think we ended with
our show.
Yep. Which we got a tour.
Really cool. We got kind of like a behind the scenes tour. Yeah. And I'm really excited when we go back in August. Spoiler. Because they have live music every night in the summer. So free concerts, like open air concerts. And so I think we should go to one of those.
It'll be a really good way to do things. And there's so many things that happen. They all kind of blend together. So again, referring back to pictures. Oh, afterwards, after our bus tour was over, Tessa and I, we really wanted to do another tour of the house. And we had to do what we felt like before Friday because it's snow. Probably they were calling for like 10 inches of snow max. So we're like,
And when there's
better go
snow,
do
like you
it.
can't get up the driveway to the mansion.
Well, also, we thought it was a joke when they said, oh, there's like one snowplow for the entire city of Memphis.
I need to fact check this
Please, because I kept hearing it as a
okay,
joke, but they were like, no, like there's one snowplow.
how many snow plows?
Thank you. And they don't salt the roads there either.
No, so we were like, ooh. Okay, the city of Memphis has 15 total snow plows.
15.
So people kept saying they have one snow plow, but let me see. How many snow plows does Syracuse have? Syracuse has 40. So
Okay.
just for reference. So they don't have very many, but also they obviously don't get a lot of snow down in Memphis.
Yeah.
So everyone's freaking us out about the snow. We'd originally planned to do this second tour on the Friday. So we went on the Thursday. We went through the plains. We did the exhibits that we hadn't seen yet, which was the Lisa Marie exhibit. And then we also went for the brand new exhibit, 90 for 90.
Which is where I felt so validated.
Yeah.
I felt so validated because we're going through and I'm like, there's the fish tank. That's the fish tank I saw. And it was. I will post a picture of me circling the fish tank on the steps. You can like vaguely see it through the garland, but it's the fish tank. Believe me when I say it was the fish tank.
And she's like, what is the fish tank?
I was so excited about this because they kept being like, why are you saying it's a fish tank? I'm like, I don't know, it just looks like a fish tank.
And they had some cool stuff. I really like the concept of the 90 artifacts, for 90 years.
Yeah, that was his birth all the way to his passing.
And they had the original trunk that the Presley family used when they moved from Tupelo to Memphis. And in it was like a box of crayons. And
the original photo, like the earliest photo that they have of Elvis, the original one.
Where he's wearing that little hat with his parents.
Yeah. They had some army stuff there, which Tessa gave him a nice little salute there. Trying to think of like what other things.
They had the record player from his bedroom, and
that was really cool.
That was playing.
They have his lamp from
it was won by the Stamps.
Yes, there was his lamp from the upstairs. There was, and they always say the last book he was reading was A Scientific Search for the Face of Jesus. They had that copy on display, so that was really cool for me to get to see. They had a bunch of other books on display as well.
They say that that's a book, but I've heard
other things.
A book about sex.
Thank you for keeping it PG. Just saying. It's hotly debated.
On the street is.
If anybody has like the information, please let us know.
And we went back to the house, and it was so nice. It was like just Megan and I, and we took literally probably were in the house for like an hour and a half. Like we took so long just staring at every single detail. Like they had put up the fashion in the mansion, which was really cool. Birthday week and this week in August. And it was just so nice to be able to like point out all the little things. Like we took literally all the time in the world to like just be in the house, and compared to the like joy I felt on Monday, it's not that I didn't feel joy like still, it's just that it was more like a calmer experience. I was less like hyped up, I feel like.
There was like absolutely like it was very silent in there. We chose not to do the audio for our tour. So I mean, we've read so many books. I think we know what we're looking at, and we can also kind of like communicate with each other like what we're seeing. And also like we were in the foyer, we were looking at like the missing strand from like the chandelier from when he did like a karate chop. The book we just read for book club, Nancy Rook's Inside Graceland, she talks about Elvis like shooting the toilet and then like coming through the ceiling, like leaking through the ceiling, and that you could still see like the patchwork. You're looking at that. I was looking at all like the molding detailing.
It was just really cool to like, and also mentally at any given moment I am in the music room. So years I was just pausing there, like just taking it in, so that was super fun. We were like looking at the light fixtures. We were taking pictures in the little like the mirrored stairway going down to to the basement.
Yeah,
And
we took a lot of cute
then
pictures.
so many cute
We did.
pictures. But also it was just like nice to like just be in the house, and it was so quiet. Like I think people
It
came,
was really
like
quiet.
there were so many people who like came and left by the time we were just like only in the
Absolutely.
TV room.
Like we're
Um,
still here. Don't mind us.
yeah, looking at all the little details in
Mhm.
the pool room, and then the fabric wall. And then as he was leaving the pool room, there's this painting that Donna Lewis,
Yeah.
who we had just met like the day before, with the original Gate Girl, basically.
Yeah.
She had given to Elvis, and so it was cool to be like, oh, I met the person who gave that to him, but it's still in his house.
Yeah. We touched the wall, like the carpet wall.
The jogger wall.
I don't know
Yeah.
if it's encouraged, but a lot of people like put their handprint in the walls.
Yeah,
That.
absolutely. Took our cue pics in the. I love the jungle room. Like, I feel like I would just curl up on that couch, on that chair. That was Lisa's favorite chair.
Lisa's? Okay.
Just like fall asleep, you know.
Good nap corner.
A good nap corner.
Yep. Then we followed the tour, still going to the racquetball room. I think I don't know because it's the last place he was in,
Yeah.
but I told her I feel the closest to Elvis when I'm in the racquetball room and when I'm in the Lisa Marie. I don't know why, but that's just how I feel.
Yeah. For me, it's like looking into the music room and then also in the racquetball court. Just something like it just makes me tear up, especially the first time I went and I wasn't expecting to hear like Unchained Melody and Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain, the last songs they were saying, like, and the way it echoes in there, I don't know, it just gives me chills. Like it sounds like he's singing.
It does.
And the piano is there, it's just very like emotional. And so we took a little moment outside. We sat there was like there used to be a well, right? Usually.
I think it was a well. It's kind of like closed in now. I just took a moment, took everything in.
Saw a cardinal.
Saw another cardinal.
And then in the meditation garden, if you guys went for Elvis Week last year, they didn't have the like glass, the stained glass in.
It was all boarded up.
So now they have the stained glass in. It was super beautiful to see. I love all the stained glass at Graceland on the property, like everything. Awesome. So then that night, we go to Megan's favorite spot.
Please. My favorite restaurant in all of Memphis and my favorite barbecue is Rendezvous. It's right there near the Peabody. The ribs are good. It's my favorite barbecue. I got ribs.
Went to town.
I went to town. I feel like I'm a very clean, neat person, very kind of prim and proper, but give me those ribs, that's it.
And like her hands are covered and like she's just chowing down. And I was like, she's having the best day of her life. Like I don't really like ribs, but I was like, you know what?
Which?
I have to try it. So I did try it.
It was the first time you had a rib, wasn't it?
I think I've had it once before, but like when I was a kid. So
it was like weird to watch you eat it because you just didn't
like
have to do. Like just bite it.
Like that picture of Squidward. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where his teeth are like.
Well, that's what you were doing. Well, we can insert that picture too.
So then one of the things I'd really wanted to do in Memphis was go out on Beale Street and hear some live blues. Obviously, Memphis is the home of blues. And it's just kind of like when you're in Nashville, like you have to go to like a honky tonk. Like, what's the point if you don't?
Yep.
To be honest. And so we ended up going out. We went to a couple of spots. We went to Silky O'Sullivan's and sat and listened to some music. And then we went back to.
That's when we got the text from Diane.
Yeah. We get a text from Diane. She's like, y'all, like, we're going to go to John Daly's warehouse. So we went to John Daly's warehouse. And he has so much amazing stuff. Like he lists a lot of it on eBay, but this is like some stuff that he hasn't listed yet. And Megan was super excited because she saw there were so many books.
So many. I was a book heaven, just saying.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of it was like out of print books. And I was like, oh, I want all of these. Which I did. I called him Babe.
Yes. I got my Holy Grail items, which were like sheet music with pictures on it, like old from the 50s. So that was very cool.
Yeah.
We came back. We had the dance party.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, which was like movie themed. I did a Jailhouse Rock moment.
I did Viva Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Like we all dressed up as like an Elvis character. That was the theme.
Right.
Tara did Blue Hawaii, and then Diane did Follow That Dream.
Right. So we were representing.
Yes.
It was super fun to dance with my friends to Elvis music. I'm like, wait, everyone knows all these songs.
Well, no, we were a little lost at first when they started doing like I Can Help. And then everybody's like, we didn't know what was going on. And everybody starts doing this like synchronized dance. And we're just like, what is going on?
Oh, yeah. Like,
yeah. And I was so confused. But then we got the hang of it real fast. Don't worry.
Real fast. So then that night is Snowgate.
Oh, we went to Kroger too. And everybody and their mother was there.
We were
panicked by. We got all kinds of snacks.
It was crazy. So then the next day when we got in there, it's like inches of snow.
I would say like a good 8 inches of snow.
Yeah, it was like a decent amount of snow. But Diane being from St. Louis, he's like, this does not deter me. And
I got this.
We drove over to Graceland and to the guest house. And then we walked down to the gates of Graceland, and it was so cool to see it in the snow. I mean, it's like
somebody built like a little snowman on the fence. We had a little
house
snowball
was closed.
fight.
We had a snowball fight, which I'm sure is like Elvis would have loved that. Like he totally
would have. It was really
a snowball fight. And it was just funny to see it in the snow. Like you never see it in the snow.
No, only in pictures.
It was really cool to be there.
It wasn't like a dusting. Like it was snow.
Yeah.
And I'm going through my pictures to remember what we did.
We got lunch at the guest house. And then
she got convened.
No, that was before. That was like earlier in the week.
Oh, that's right.
At the guest house. It's okay. That was on Wednesday. But so then we went back to our hotel. We hung out a little bit at like the EP Boulevard pawn shop stuff, and we
talked a lot
about Nurse Tish, our girl. That's our girl.
She had so many good stories. Ooh, and she made this really good boiled custard.
Oh yeah,
tastes like melted ice cream. It was so good.
So good. And we went out to the room. It was kind of quiet because it was snowy. So like a lot of events were canceled and things like that. So we went and we watched That's the Way It Is in the room, which was fun. Then we got ready for, I think I took a fat nap. We got ready for our last event, which was the concert. And it was like Elvis live, right? Elvis in concert.
It was like Elvis in concert. So they showed like him starting like the Ed Sullivan Show all the way to what did they end with? Aloha, I think.
Yeah,
ending with Aloha.
And I'm a 68 girly. I dressed up in a little like leatherette, this thing, a plug dress, and it was just so fun. Like we were in the back, and most people sit, and like you have seats, but you can get up and dance in the back.
Yeah,
and so
we were at the party
and danced in the back. I really enjoyed like hearing. It felt like a concert, like his concert, because you're just like your eyes are like glued on the footage of him, and you're hearing the live music like with it, and rather than just like through your headphones. So I would definitely, I'm doing that again. Like, 100%.
Oh, absolutely.
And then we went back to the guest house. We saw Tiny Graceland. Heidi, and she had brought her little diorama music room. So she is making, what is it, 1 to 27 scale of Graceland.
I'll just double check, but I think.
And she was showing Angie Marchese, the head of archives, the mini music room, and that was really cool.
She put so much detail into it.
I was like shrieky and putting it back.
Just so I can play the piano.
Yeah, I want to play that piano. And we were just talking to everybody. It was like our last night, so we're trying.
I got peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and chocolate milk.
You did. You did. girl. And we met Estelle Brown, who was one of the singers for the State Inspirations, who were backup vocals for Elvis for like a long time. And one of the Sweet Inspirations is Whitney Houston's mother. So all of that was just very cool. I talked
You had
about
one of your, yes, I was going to say,
yeah, we talked
you
about
had your question answered
yeah,
to, I think, your expectations.
my biggest thing is that people like Elvis could not read music.
Yep.
Listen, I don't think that's true because I don't think there's any way you could be a musician for 20 years and not read music. Like, there's no way. Because also, here's my evidence. One, the hymnals that the Assembly of God Church used when he was growing up had music in them. So if you're singing a line, you see it goes up, it goes down. Like, reading music, it's not that complicated, I swear. And so I asked Estelle Brown, could Elvis read music? And she said yes, to like the extent that he could, perform, but he couldn't.
Yeah, like he could follow along.
Yeah, like he could follow along. And that's, I mean, I have like a degree in music and I can't sit and just play any of the things in my book on piano. Like, I could practice it, I could understand it, I would have to separate it, but I couldn't just sit and play, just like I couldn't like sit and sing like immediately. I think he just had an ability to be able to read it to the extent that he needed to. And even the way he talks about music in different videos, or he's like talking about different terminology. Yeah. So it was cool. She answered my question the way I wanted it to be answered.
I asked her about their stage wear. I wanted to know what was their favorite. And I believe she said the yellow one. So I'm pretty sure she's referring to like the dresses with like the really large yellow balloon sleeves or bishop sleeves, whatever you want to call them. I believe that was it. It's a good one. It's a good stage outfit.
Absolutely. And then we were sad. We went to bed. Womp womp.
We stayed out late though.
Yeah. And then Megan and I had to drive back to Maryland the next day. Y'all, here's where it goes wrong because we had such a phenomenal
subject.
We had a phenomenal week. I mean, it was just like so fun to be with friends and talk with everybody about Elvis and see all these Elvis things and do all these Elvis things. It was just so like fun. And so we had like a 15-hour drive ahead of us, right? 13.
It was 13. Like I think a little less than 13.
So, okay.
But kind of
driving
because we lose the hour.
We're driving. I think we hadn't even switched shifts yet. Or had we?
No.
I think we had.
We did.
Because I got tired. And
we left on a high. We were up here when we left.
And then I was like, I'm sad. And so Megan is like, we have to go to a Buc-ee's. Because I've never been to a Buc-ee's. She's never been.
And I now think this is all my fault.
No. So we're driving. We're driving. We go to this Buc-ee's in Sevierville to get gas. And we get out of the car and I'm like, what does that sound?
And
it's my car for Chronicles. It was my car. And I hear it so loud.
It was loud.
And I was like,
and we're just looking at each other like, what is that?
Yeah, so there's a giant piece of metal in my tire.
It was like this big.
Yeah, it was like a big thing of metal.
It was like that big, probably like that thick.
This has happened to me 4 times now. One for each tire. This is the 4th.
Oh, so it's not the same tire every time. It's a different one every time?
I'm pretty sure. It's been
well, I have a whole set of new tires.
Look at this. So Megan and I are like, we can watch a YouTube tutorial. I've changed a tire before using a YouTube tutorial. So I'm like, we can put my spare on, but we still have like 10 hours of this drive to go.
Yeah.
So,
but I looked at her with spare. I look at her though when she said, well, we can watch a YouTube video. And I'm like, no.
She's like, girl, we are not watching a YouTube video.
Do you want me to call my dad? And we're like, she's like,
yeah. And then freaking out. And then Megan spots this guy with this big truck. With,
I know how to spot them.
And she's like, he's going to change our tire. And so I go up to him and I obviously probably look like distressed. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sir. Like, would you be able to help us change my tire? Like, I got a flat. He's like, oh, I used to work at an auto shop. His name was Jimmy. He was so
Jimmy was from Texas. So if Jimmy's
Jimmy was
watching
from
this, we love you.
Texas.
Thank you.
Jimmy changed the tire. He was like, call these tire places, make sure they have your tire. And like, if they mess you around, like just call me, I'll come and deal with it. And
First off, Jimmy changed the tire in like 2 minutes.
to literally
Dude had like an industrial jack in there. He had a drill, bits, everything.
everything. And we're like, oh, we're just coming back from it. We saw Graceland. Like,
That's just two Elvis girls trying to go home.
so we're talking to him. We finally, okay, we're good. He changed the tire. Then we have to go to
Fire zone.
We had to wait a very long time.
I'd say we waited like 2 hours.
Yeah. We walked to a steak and shake. Yeah.
Which it snowed there too. So everything, if you've ever been to Sevierville, it's usually like a very lively place. Everything's going on. No, not there. There was snow. Everything was closed. I was not happy.
Megan's mom is calling us. She's like, if you guys need to like stay somewhere overnight, my mom's calling us like, if you need to stay somewhere, like pay for it. Like just don't, because at this point it was already like 5, I would say.
Well, by the time we left Sevierville, it was like 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah. And so anyway, we got the tire. We split it.
We split it because I
the tire
crazy bad. Which also they said they only had one guy changing tires there, and they were the only place open, like in all of Sevierville, to get this tire. So we were kind of lucky.
We were very lucky.
They had it closed.
Luckily, they had it closed because everywhere was closing at 5, and they closed at 6. So we were like driving with the spare tire, like, and we drove that and the rest. Well, we drove
troopers,
and we drove all the way back to Maryland. We didn't get back till like 3 in the morning.
I was being a baby driver.
Oh my gosh, I had to sleep because she was driving my car too fast, and
she told me she'd been pulled over. I was driving
5 times at least. Anyway, we got.
And she'd been pulled over 5 times.
Probably.
It was fine. I told her I got behind a cop. He was going pretty fast, so I said I can't get pulled over if he's going that fast. I was cutting minutes off like nobody's business.
She was shaving down the time. She wakes me up because I fell asleep. And then she's like, dude, you have to give me I'll say kiss, marry, kill. And she wakes me up. And with that, we're like doing like the most random ones, trying to stay awake with the
like,
radio.
I told her, I was like, I'm fading real quick.
We had to chat. Like, it was just crazy. We finally get back, and then I feel like we were like a little bit.
We got home at like 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Thankfully, Megan's brother was awake. He brought our stuff inside the house.
What?
Thank you, King. And then I slept for a long time. We didn't wake up till like 11, I think. We were so tired. And Megan's mom made us breakfast, and then I was on my merry way back to Syracuse, New York. And it was I was supposed to go to class, and I was like, girl, I can't. Like, this is not after flat tire gate. And so then we were left with nothing but and I just look at my picture, I'll put it in here. It was like one of the last places we stopped to get gas, and I had to go and they had these wind chimes, and I was like, it's an Elvis one, which was funny because I think we were already in like Virginia at that point.
Yeah, we were.
And then right next to it was a cardinal one. So I was like, but it's a nice little sign. So anyway, then we got back safe, and then we had major like post-birthday depression.
Yeah, we did.
And so then,
like, not just us two, the whole group.
The whole group. We were just like, what do we like? I had to go to school and be like normal.
I have to go to school now.
And I had to be normal, and it was so difficult to be normal. Because I just want to tell everyone about the amazing time I had. And so in the group chat, I was like, guys, I don't think I can like not be at an Elvis event ever again. Like,
not have bad low.
Of me beyond. And so we're texting like, oh, we had such a good like group that we were rooming with. And
You would think 4 girls, there would be some kind of like conflict, drama. Nothing.
nothing. We had a really good time.
We were the greatest group ever. I'm just saying. I'm just going to throw it out there. No drama, no conflict.
No drama.
That's fun.
And
Elvis fun only.
Elvis fun only. And so we're texting, and I was like, roomies. And within 5 minutes, Diane booked us a room and holiday in August. So we will be back.
We will.
We like don't have a choice. We already have a hotel. So
yeah, I mean, we could cancel it, but
no, I'm not going to. But the weather change is going to be crazy.
Drastic.
I'm going to go from layers to no clothes.
Oh. You should have seen our suitcases too. Oh my gosh.
I bought sweatshirts, many. I think I bought like 3 t-shirts.
I got a poster. It's not hanging up yet, but
got a movie poster. We just got so many like trinkets, bracelets from the Pink Cadillac exchange, which was really fun.
That was good.
And just overall, it was so great to see everybody. And we just went to our little like debrief.
So I think we had a really great time. Like I couldn't imagine having a better trip.
Yeah, and there's still things like on my list of what I want to do in August that we'll definitely get to doing, like the Civil Rights Museum. There was another couple barbecue spots I wanted to check out. And
Central's your favorite.
Central is my favorite. That one rates for me.
Okay.
But
here's your mind.
Here's the thing. It has to, because I'm a pulled chicken person. So their pulled chicken is really good.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So we're going to go hit up some spots. I'm hoping to do some archival research or some kind of research while we're there, which will be really fun. And just the Elvis love. I'm like reeling in it now. So anyway, we hope you guys enjoyed this different episode of ours, like with our little
definitely a debrief. Yes, this is what we would do each night after we came back from our excursion of the day.
Yes, we would have a whole long spiel.
But we're excited that we got to share it with you guys.
Yes. So hopefully we'll see some of you in August.
Yeah, so let us know if you're going.
Yeah, and we'll be there.
That's all we have for today. Thanks for tuning into this episode of the Chronicles of the King podcast.
If you love what you heard, please don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your feedback helps bring the King's story to life.
You can follow us on social media at the Chronicles of the King for updates, upcoming series, and more. We'd love to hear your input and any of your favorite Elvis moments.
Until next time, keep rocking and rolling, and we'll be back soon with more stories from Elvis's extraordinary life.
With TLC, we'll see you on the next episode of the Chronicles of the King.